Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm just getting over an illness. It was either brought on by natural circumstances or the film I saw was so bad it made me physically sick. Either one wouldn't surprise me. So, the doctor says I should be fine though, as long as I get plenty of rest and relaxation. Ow!
Ho! Don't you know? The cure for anything, anywhere is laughter. Ho!
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Bitch Spasms, and I'm here to make you laugh. Ho!
But I don't want to laugh, I want to get better.
Well, laughter's the best medicine.
No, medicine's the best medicine.
Ho! What? You don't trust a doctor who looks like this?
No, I don't.
Look, a red nose. It's funny.
No, it isn't.
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 Ow!
Yeah, it's Patch Adams, everybody. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Nostalgia Critic, you're against new forms of medicine and new techniques. No, I'm not. I'm against a bad Robin Williams movie horribly relaying that new form of medicine and new techniques. I personally don't know if the techniques of the real Hunter Adams work. Maybe they do. Maybe he's a genius. From what I've looked up, he seems pretty legit. But the way they're trying to tell his story is such a cliched, emotionally forced dick fest. It makes me want to kick him in his comedic dangly red balls. So let's see how much based on a real story can get away with. This is Patch Adams. So how is the raunchy Williams going to make his entrance in this film? Oh wait, is this the actually funny Robin Williams or the shoving inspiration down your throat until you puke Robin Williams? Cue the piano. We see Patch checking himself into a mental institution because he's suicidal. Now, is it me, or would they put the suicidal person in a less threatening, holy shit, I want to shoot myself location than this?
We need help in here! Somebody!
Yeah, I'd be afraid of a Fisher King reunion too. I don't know, even for 1969, wouldn't they know not to put a person who's, for the most part, calm and of sound mind in a ward filled with screaming, unstable people? Well, maybe they're not unstable. Maybe they're just misunderstood. Oh, Patch, show us the way.
I think he has a question.
You find that funny, Hunter, making fun of a man's infirmity?
Maybe he does have a question. He's alive.
He's catatonic.
He still has a brain. Maybe he wants to participate too. Maybe Beanie knows a lot more than we give him credit for.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should treat him like a person instead of just some useless punchline.
Beanie, how much taller is Will Chamberlain than you? How do you say hello to Hitler? Who would win a staring contest? Beanie!
Who fought it?
Beanie! Who likes to masturbate?
Our healer, everybody! When he's not done making fun of what's wrong with you, he goes down to the orphanage to mock the kids with no parents. Oh, wait, that's right. Adams is the hero because the big bad establishment doesn't want people laughing. This is most unorthodox.
How many fingers do you see?
4.
4? Another idiot.
He also befriends a brilliant mind that went crazy a few years ago. But, of course, Patch connects with him.
How many do you see?
There are 4 fingers, Arthur.
No. Look at me. You're focusing on the problem. If you focus on the problem, you can't see the solution. Never focus on the problem. Look at me.
Now that's a good point. In fact, most of the time, I don't even want to know what the problem is. I just want to focus on the solution.
Nostalgia Critic, there's a...
Don't tell me the problem. I only want to focus on the solution. I see a banana. Use a banana.
A banana's gonna put out a fire?
Yes, it is.
But I don't think that...
Are you part of the establishment?
No.
Then use the banana! There, now, you see, you didn't believe the banana will work, and that's why you're on fire.
Look beyond the fingers. How many do you see?
8.
8's a good answer. Yes? See what no one else sees. See what everyone else chooses not to see. Out of fear, conformity, and laziness.
Wow, how inspiring. That's the most original message I've ever heard in a Robin Williams movie since Good Morning Vietnam, Dead Poet Society, Fisher King Jack, Good Will Hunting, Being Human, Jacob the Liar, Flubber, Bicentennial Man, and Man of the Year. But I'm sure this Robin Williams movie has a totally different spin on it. So he sees that by acting goofy with the patients, he can bring himself to their level and help cure their fears. So he decides he wants to leave and help people.
I'm leaving. I want to learn about people. I want to help them with their troubles.
That's what I do.
But you suck at it.
Most unorthodox.
I want to listen. I want to really listen to people.
Wonderful! I'm sure you'll be a wonderful psychiatrist or medical doctor. I guess they're practically the same thing. So he finds the best spot to inspiringly rebel as he meets up with his new roommate.
I don't mean to be rude, but aren't you a little old to be starting medical school?
Patch Adams.
Mitch Roman, Georgetown University. I was awarded the William F. Thompson Scientific Achievement Award.
I once drew a picture of a rabbit that got me 2 gold stars.
I hope you in no way emotionally change me by the end of this film. But there's even more of the evil establishment to battle. Like the evil doctor who tries to teach everybody to never get emotionally involved with their patients.
He trusts you the way a child trusts. He trusts you to do no harm.
I'm sure she's not the love interest.
Human beings are not worthy of trust. It is our mission here to rigorously and ruthlessly train the humanity out of you and make you into something better. We're gonna make doctors out of you.
Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition. A man confronts you, he's the enemy. An enemy deserves no mercy.
So Patch tries to make a move on the obvious love interest, but sadly, like most of the people in this movie, her dialogue is nothing but a walking character introduction for the trailer.
Lesbian, ballbuster, airhead, leech, whichever one of these disgusts you the most, take your pick. Please, pass the word. I'm not here to date. I am not here to flirt. I'm here to study.
Okay, remember in my haunting review how I said the 90s had a certain way of writing homosexuals? Well, they had a certain way of writing women, too. Women in the media for so long were always the emotional support, the damsels, the smiling pretty faces. So in the 90s, there was a desperate need to change that. Oh, not by making them a pretty, fuck, we wouldn't do that. But we suddenly made them cold, bitter, confrontational, and overly strong. To go out of their way to show that they're not those old emotional stereotypes, and instead make way for new emotional stereotypes. For you see, in every 90s film, the woman behind this strong, independent wall that won't let anybody in is a sad little bunny rabbit that will eventually let down her defenses and reveal a tragic backstory. So you see, she wasn't a strong, confident worker just because she was a strong, confident worker. Deep down, she just wants to be held like any other fragile woman. Oh, I don't want to think, I just want to be loved! So Patch wants to lower her defenses and get through to her insecurity, even though he's clearly the king of masking insecurity himself. But we don't want to lower his defenses because he makes us laugh. And that excuses everything in this movie. And I'm not kidding. Look at his rationale of acting like a jackass in medical school.
The goal will be to break through program response by changing normal parameters and getting a new emotional response from the person.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't get it. Hi is a programmed response.
I reached her.
You scared her.
No. Wait for it.
Oh, you're nuts.
A smile.
Oh yeah, that's a rational response, and not some contrived screenwriting device. Ow!
Oh, you see? I connected with you.
No you didn't, you hit me in the face!
Wait for it.
Ow! You know, I'm really regretting writing this character. So, for whatever reason, we get a weird segue where Patch and his friends convince a guy that they're part of a meat packaging convention. Yeah, you heard right, a meat packaging convention.
You know, in New Zealand, they found a whole new use for sheep.
What's that?
Wool!
Oh yeah, I can clearly see that this movie is going to represent people in an accurate and realistic manner. No stereotypes or manipulative portrayals here. This movie's like watching real life.
Proud of my meat, and I know you're proud of your meat. Whip it, zip it, and send it out.
Alright, so we spent 3 damn minutes in this place just to realize, what? That if he wears a doctor's coat, he can fool people into thinking he's a 3-year student. Okay, movie, did you just make a bet that you could somehow work a meat packaging convention scene in there somehow?
Here we have a juvenile onset diabetic with poor circulation and diabetic neuropathy. As you can see, these are diabetic ulcers with lymphedema and evidence of gangrene. Consider antibiotics, possibly amputation. What's her name?
I was just wondering the patient's name.
Marjorie.
Hi, Marjorie.
Alright, are you telling me that years and years of medical research and we never put together until the early 70s that there's a difference between not being emotionally evolved and not being a dick? Who would talk that way in front of a patient, even back then? It's called bedside manner. That existed before Patch Adams. I mean, this kind of misrepresentation is just giving him all the more reason to do stupid things like...
Oh, I was in a mental ward. Can you tell?
Awesome, wonderful. I mean, that's really, really great work. Be a clown! I mean, you're clearly not doing anything here representing a doctor. Go to hospitals and cheer people up. That's fine. I have no problem. But I'm sorry, if choosing my doctors comes between this...
Stabilize the blood sugar. Consider antibiotics, possibly amputation.
And this... I'm choosing the amputate guy. I don't trust him with a saw. But the big bad establishment won't let him have any fun. Let's take him to a darkly lit room where shadows are casted on his face.
Truth of it is, Hunter, passion doesn't make doctors. I make doctors.
But don't you think it would be
Our way of doing things is a product of centuries of experience. It's my hospital.
First, we will heal patients, and then the world. But the doctor's cold-heartedness does not sit well with the charming rebel.
1432, deviation of the tongue.
I think we'd learn more if we were working closely with patients.
I thought that's why we're here studying, to learn enough to help the patients.
Yes, that is right.
Adeline, don't waste your breath. Don't you...
If he does that again, you can shoot him.
Don't you think I see through you? You act like you're above the system when you're really just a nonconformist. You have to get under the fingernails of any authority figure that crosses your path as a way of dealing with some insecurity.
That is correct! That is correct! Please hand over the rest of the movie to her. Clearly, she should be the focus.
Listen, can we get back to the tongue, please?
What if a doctor becomes emotionally involved with a patient? What is wrong with that? Does a doctor explode? No.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that scene, I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to save it for later. Because trust me, that scene is really going to stab this movie in the ass later. No, it's okay. You'll get your chance. No, don't touch anything on there. No, don't touch that. Ugh. Bad scene. That's a bad scene. So acting kooky to entertain patients is one thing, but fuck it. Patch wants to act like an ass full time! So he goes around to all the students who are not sick and annoys the living shit out of them. Even when they're in the middle of taking a test.
Donner, party of 50? Donner, party over here!
You know, if I stab you, will you promise me that you will not only die, but it will hurt? He also sneaks into patients' rooms and surprises them with balloon animals. I sure hope none of them are susceptible to heart attacks. Oh, and thank God sleep isn't important to any of the other patients in this ward. It's not like they put them in those beds overnight to get rest. No. It's to watch people have mental breakdowns with balloon animal safaris.
This is my way of telling you you have cancer!
What about you, dear? What's your fantasy?
I've always wanted to be in a swimming pool full of noodles, wall to wall and top to bottom. An entire pool full of noodles.
Look up Japanese porn. I'm sure you'll find something. But get ready to get pissed off even more. He's actually one of the highest testing students in the school. Yeah, what the hell? We've never seen him study in this film or do anything resembling schoolwork, or hell, even doctor work. All he does is act like he's from a mental ward. Oh, wait, he was from a mental ward!
You told Wolcott I cheated.
Look, cut the crap, Hunter. I live with you. I know how much you study, or I should say don't study. And you do better than me. Give me a break.
Okay, this is a good point. Why don't we see him study? In Amadeus, they at least point out that he was raised from childhood to be obsessed with music. That's how he can remember things so well. But nothing here ever gives us a clue as to why he never studies and yet gets good grades. For all we know, he could be cheating. They never give us another explanation. But apparently the teacher trusts him enough to handle the welcoming committee for a group of visiting gynecologists.
This year, I have chosen Adams. Hunter, there's a detailed list of instructions in my office. Oh, and the auditorium could use a good cleaning.
Yeah. Tell me, Professor, how did you come to that brilliant logical conclusion? I'm sure absolutely nothing will go wrong and no comedic possibilities will come from this. Whoa!
Welcome, cold-handed ones.
Zach Morass!
It's an honor to greet/welcome so many who have touched so many women in such a powerful way.
The orthodox levels on this are most So finally, and I mean finally, he gets himself expelled. I can't imagine why.
Kindly remove your things and vacate the school premises as soon as possible.
What for?
For asking a group of doctors to have a sense of humor about themselves?
No, that wasn't asking, that was forcing. As a comedian, you should know the difference. Bad clown!
Why am I such a threat to you, sir?
Because what you want is for us to get down there on the same level as our patients.
We are not on the same level as them. We are healthy! So he goes to the dean of medicine and like a doofus, he actually lets him back in. That's good. It means he can have an emotional death scene with one of the patients. That's right. Out, family. Out, out. You're not allowed in here while your dad's on his deathbed. Only Patch is allowed to have an emotional scene with him. You're so silly for thinking you can do that.
Do I see bluebirds singing a song?
I am so glad the family wasn't there to witness that. I mean, shaking the head and then thumping it against the pillow. No child should ever have to see such a horrible performance. So seeing this somehow gets him thinking about how many people don't have health insurance. So he starts his own hospital in a house to practice medicine without a license and starts seeing patients for free. Okay, nice thought, but get your fucking license! I mean, good God, that's horrible! That's almost as bad as stealing from a hospital!
I've been trying to warn you guys about this for weeks, and now we have absolutely zero supplies.
I need your feet.
Hurry, please. It's crushing me.
Quiet, you're a corpse.
Shut up! Ouch!
Movie, did you even say this part out loud? Your hero is stealing from a hospital? Do you think that would sound good on a movie poster? Patch Adams, he steals from hospitals. I wouldn't see that!
No, Wolcott found out about our borrowed supplies.
No, borrowing implies you asked, asshole. They also decide they don't need any past history on any of these patients, so scary people like this are allowed in.
I thought maybe I would get some, maybe I'd talk to somebody because my thoughts.
Remember this scene also. We'll get to you. But first, let's bring up that inevitable tragic backstory we were talking about earlier.
My entire life, men have been attracted to me. My entire life.
Oh! Well, you know what the best cure for that is? A monkey.
Laughter's the best medicine! Laughter's the best medicine! Ooh, I was molested! Oh no, he touched me there, doctor! Oh, are you feeling better? Feeling better?
When I was a little girl, I would look out my bedroom window at the caterpillars, turn into these beautiful creatures that could fly away completely untouched.
So as you'd imagine, she finally gives in to Patch's charm, discovering that she can trust not only people, but men again. Just at the time when the crazy man from before claims he needs help from her.
Come in.
I really can't stay very long. I just wanted to see how you were doing.
And we don't want to be late.
Corinne Fisher was murdered. She was with Larwood Silver. There's a shotgun involved, and he turned the gun on himself.
Whoa! Holy smokes, she died in real life? That's horrible. God, can I even make a joke about that? I mean, a woman was murdered. That'd probably be in bad taste, right? I mean, I feel so bad about what I said earlier. I don't know what I can or can't get away with now. This is really sensitive territory. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I gotta do more research on this. I gotta find out all the details. God, maybe she was molested. Maybe she did go through all that horrible stuff. Or maybe she was a man who was not romantically interested in Patch at all. In fact, the female character was a complete work of fiction in this movie. Okay, movie, come here. Come here, movie. Come here. You're getting a whooping, movie. You're getting a whooping, movie. Come here. Come here. No, where are you going? Where are you going? No. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. I'm so ashamed of you. Bad movie. Okay, all bets are off. If this movie can't even represent a dead person by getting his gender right, not making up a false romance, and a child molesting story, all of it fabricated, I'm sorry, I've worked my way up to this joke. Remember that scene I brought up earlier?
What if a doctor becomes emotionally involved with a patient? What is wrong with that? Does a doctor explode?
Well, if you count bullets blowing up the head of your fictional dead girlfriend, yes. Yes, they fucking do! I mean, I know a person really was murdered in real life, but it wasn't the same way, it wasn't the same time, and it wasn't even the same gender as they're saying here. And what is so strange about this is that it totally proves why the method they're so poorly trying to convey to us wouldn't work. People do make bad choices when they're emotional, and bad things do happen. Again, the real teachings of the real Hunter Adams are much smarter than this. And by trying to simplify it to such a disgusting, fictionalized degree is absolutely horrible. Let me tell you something, movie. Maybe you should have been emotionally invested when you were representing the life of a man, his theories, his friends, his real-life practices, and his actual hard work. Fuck you! So after getting torn up about his never-existing girlfriend being killed, he once again contemplates suicide. But, get a load of this, a butterfly flies up to him. Oh, could it be his dead girlfriend? Well, I guess it is, seeing how the vomit-inducing happy music is playing louder than a Full House episode. I guess this means he can go back and start working with patients again, including giving that crazy lady her swimming pool full of noodles. This calls for that whimsical Robin Williams yell that can only be played over sappy emotional music. My story arc is complete.
I'm supposed to give you this.
But the big bad establishment wants to shut him down again! Didn't we just go through this scene?
There are standards and codes. You make the patients and everyone else around you uncomfortable.
I make you uncomfortable.
Let me make this clear. You have orthodox, unorthodox, and then most unorthodox! You're here! This, of course, leads to a courtroom scene where Patch makes, what, his 10th big emotional speech?
Did you consider the ramifications of your actions? What if one of your patients had died?
What's wrong with death, sir?
Did a man who wants to save lives really just say that?
Why can't we treat death with a certain amount of humanity and dignity and decency and, God forbid, maybe even humor?
I know I had a good laugh when my non-existent girlfriend croaked. He keeps making his speech, and I swear to God, he uses all these cliched lines. As God is my witness.
As God is my witness.
Then I'm guilty as charged.
Then I am guilty as charged.
I've lost everything, but also gained everything.
I've lost everything, but I've also gained everything.
You can't control my spirit.
You can't control my spirit.
And the best damn doctor the world has ever seen.
The best damn doctor the world has ever seen.
Oh wait, you forgot, you complete me and love means never having to say you're sorry. And I know what you're thinking. Could this possibly get any more ridiculously sappy? Well, not only do all the sick kids come in at the end, kind of weird they weren't there at the beginning, but they all wait until they get inside to put on their big red noses. This is all I can do. That's all. I have no words. This is the only representation I can give. Feed on it. Feed on it. Let it fester. Let it sink into your contrived, manipulative anus.
We find your methods less than appealing. Your appearance and your demeanor do not reflect what we believe is necessary to earn a patient's trust and respect.
Yeah. However,
you openly accuse us of adhering to time-honored practices that for years have been the backbone of the entire medical institution.
However,
yeah. Find no fault in your attempts to improve the quality of life around you, and therefore we find no merit in the decision to block your graduation from medical school. And Dean Walcott, in the future, I think matters like this could best be solved if you yourself would practice a little excessive happiness.
Well, I'm happy to see you finally decided to conform.
More than you know, sir.
Dr. Adams, everybody. He'll see you on your deathbed, which, remember, he doesn't see as a big deal. People, this movie is disgusting. If you want to talk about the benefits of emotional interaction with your patients, fine. If you want to talk about new forms of practicing medicine and treating people, fine. But do it as a fucking adult! Not this childish, poorly written, non-factual bullshit! You know what you do? You know what? Don't watch the fictional bad Patch Adams. Watch the real factual Patch Adams. I've looked him up. His work is fascinating, and it goes beyond simply jumping around like a jackass. He's a professional. He takes his patients seriously. He works with each one individually. Every experience is different, and he works hard. And wouldn't you know it, he didn't like this movie very much. He said it portrayed him as just a clown instead of a hard-working doctor who did practice medicine with a license, did not steal from a hospital, and had a male best friend who sadly lost his life and was not just a cheap romantic foil.
When you've had a fairly simple film made of your life by a person a foot shorter than you, people still feel they have a sense that they know you.
Look the guy up. Donate to his hospital if you want. Just don't believe anything in this shit. Fuck, shit, fuck.
Oh, you conformists! Don't you know that the answer to anything is...
Don't worry, he's not a reoccurring character. I'm the nostalgia critic, I remember it, so you don't have to. Oh!
What's wrong with death, sir?